It's time for another Debt Snowball update. Hi, and welcome back. I'm Kamika, and this is Well Balanced Wallet, where I help you create healthy money habits and live a life that you love on your current budget. Today, we're going to take a look at the August Debt Snowball update. So our budget for the month of August got a little bit out of hand, but the reason why is because we were planning on taking a trip. We left on September 2nd and we came back on the 6th. So we were trying to get everything that we needed for our trip together, and we had to shuffle quite a bit of money around so that we could get everything together for our hotel. We needed to get snacks and water, and we were driving, so we paid for gas, and then we just had a few more things to pick up, like a few shirts for my husband and little things here or there. So we didn't go over our budget, meaning we didn't go into debt and we didn't spend money that we didn't have, but we did have to move a little bit of money around just to make sure that we had enough money to cover all of our expenses. And you know, when you're traveling, you want to have extra cash and things like that. So that's pretty much how our budget went for the month of August. We came in right at the mark for our grocery budget, and I think we went over just a little bit for our restaurant budget, and then everything that we ate while we were on our trip came out of our vacation budget. So we didn't have too much of a mess to clean up in our budget once we got back, but we had a great trip. We had fun. We were very safe. Nobody came back sick or anything like that. Everybody did everything that they could to stay safe, and we had a great time. So moving on to the Debt Snowball update. I have not heard back from any of the debt collectors that we owe. For anybody that's new here, we have about $6,000 of medical bills in collections, and I have reached out to those companies and I'm waiting to hear back, and I haven't heard anything back, so there's no update for that. We did pay our mortgage, which is $1,212, and then we paid the additional $75 towards our principal, and this is the amount that we have left for our mortgage. So since I don't have much of an update about the $6,000 that we owe to collections, I do want to talk a little bit about student loans in this video. And I know that I don't mention them a lot, or at all actually, in these Debt Snowball updates, and I have a video here explaining why I don't include the student loans in these Debt Snowball updates. And also, in addition to that video, student loans are in forbearance right now, and it's not affecting us negatively to not be paying them at the moment. So what I really want to get into is the amount of student loans that my husband and I have, because I'm not sure if I've shared our student loan numbers before. So I'll start with myself. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and my husband and I are both first generation college students. So we were the first people in our family to go to college and to get our bachelor's degrees. So that is very exciting. Our families were very happy for us, but in that same breath, they were not prepared for any of the expenses that came with college because they didn't have that experience themselves. So that's how we ended up in student loan debt. Like I mentioned, I have 2 degrees. So the amount of student loans that I took out for both of my degrees is $71,000. And my loans have been in repayment status since 2014. So that means I've been paying on my loans actively every month, minus this year and last year, for 7 years. And the amount that I owe today, $84,280. And then for my husband, he has a bachelor's degree, and he started out with $35,500 in student loans, and he's been making payments since 2012. So his current loan balance is $42,884. So collectively, we have $127,164 in student loans. So one of the things that I'm most interested in for my student loan repayment is the Public Service Student Loan Forgiveness Program. And I actually worked in the financial aid office when we were learning about this program. And I was still in the financial aid office when the first group of people were eligible to apply and have their loans forgiven, which was in 2017. And I was shocked to find out that only 1% of the people that applied for this forgiveness program were eligible and actually got their loans forgiven. That's just crazy to me. There's so many hoops that you have to jump through, and so many requirements that you have to have, and so much fine print that you have to go through, that a lot of people that have been paying on their loans, making the 120 payments towards their loans got to the end and realized that they can't have their loans forgiven because they were in the wrong repayment status or just something minor like that. So that intrigued me way back then, and I decided that since I do work in public service, that is going to be something that I pursue, because for one, if I'm eligible, of course I want my loans forgiven, but also I want to take you guys on this journey with me and have you guys walk through the process of me filling out these documents and reading the fine print, so that if any of you are eligible or even curious about the program, that you can see the hurdles and the hoops that we actually have to jump through to potentially have our loans forgiven. So my husband and I both work in public service, so we're both eligible to have loans forgiven after 10 years and 120 payments. I have more time put in for forgiveness than my husband does because I've been working in public service since 2008 and he just started in 2017. So I'm currently at 7 years and he is at, I want to say, 4 years for paying towards the public service student loan program. And I'm just excited to take you guys along with us and to let you guys see the journey of us going through this process and hopefully having our loans forgiven. Now, do I trust the government and expect them to forgive our loans? Not really. But I think it's a good way to bring awareness for the public service loan forgiveness program and to also bring awareness to all of these ridiculous rules to have loans forgiven if you serve the public. So I know it wasn't much of a debt snowball update today, but this is where we are, and hopefully we'll have an update for the collections in next month's Debt Snowball update. So I think that's all I have for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and click the link on your screen right now for more Well Balanced Wallet content. See you there.